And so, as the song says, I open my eyes, I open my mind, I open my life to love. So let's do that, and recognizing that we are surrounded by, immersed in, and a part of an infinite and divine life that is everywhere, that is in and throughout all life. One power, one life force, one. In the beginning, before anything existed, something, a divine urge, caused it all into being, giving to itself an infinite expression at the speed of light, pressed down and flowing out into time as planets, moons, suns, the Mother Earth, all beings, infinite, eternal. And so it's from that place of awareness I speak a blessing right now, knowing that I am it, I am the way, that it's saying this prayer right now, I am the way, that it is experiencing more and more of itself through me, as me. So I speak a blessing from that place of power, knowing that Ali's message today, living in Namaste, is divinely inspired. It's given with grace and joy and love, and that as she opens up and shares the benefits to living a life of Namaste, that every one of us get it. Every one of us are raised up more fully into being, more aware of what's in it for me when I recognize the divine life as the tree, as the plant, as the bird, as the fish, and I see it swimming back and looking at me saying, there you are, bubble, bubble, right? Breathing water as air, right? Just another infinite way that it's experiencing itself. And so I speak a blessing right now. I know that today is good. I claim it as good for each and every one of us here. Those that are watching online, those that are going to be watching throughout the week online, their lives are changed as a result of today's message. I accept that right now. I know that Ben and the kids are operating at a high vibration in the back room. The I Empower Youth Group, those kids are learning right now about who they really are and what the benefit is to knowing that. And so I give thanks. I give thanks for you being here. It wouldn't be the same without you. I give thanks to Leslie and Inspire, and music, and our circle that we get to be close together throughout the week and sing together. It's amazing. Thank you. Thank you. And so it is.
So it is.
And so I give to you my wife, Reverend Ali Benjamin. I know that she's prepared. I know that she's ready because nobody knows this more than me. I see her up every day at 5 doing this work. I see her at night going to bed doing this work. So Ali, take us away, huh?
Okay. Thank you. That was such a beautiful song. Thank you so much, Leslie, for sharing your beautiful son with us. Just such a blessing. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thank you. See, that's what happens when you go on a journey of self-discovery and self-empowerment. You find your voice. We don't always find a beautiful voice like yours, but thank you so much. Oh, my talk's flying away. It is the first Sunday in March. And so I'd like to say happy birthday to any of the March babies. Do we have any Pisces, Aries people here in the room? Alex, my daughter, yes. She's a cut.
Back here.
Oh. Yay! Well, happy birthday. I'm so glad that you decided to join us on this planet.
Oh, absolutely.
I looked up today, how many days have I been alive? And I have been alive 20,417 days. I don't know why I looked that up, but that's how many days I've been on this planet. Little piece of trivia there. So, March. The theme for March is, are you comfortable up there? Do you want to sit down?
Yeah. Can I sit down?
Yeah, go sit down. Does that make sense? Sit in the front row though, so we can call you back up. I guess. See, they don't listen to me. That's okay. But Forrest, thank you so much. Ernesta. So March. The theme for March is embrace change. Embrace change. And I usually pick a theme for March that has something to do with change because there's so much change that happens in our physical world in March. It seems like the trees and the plants and the soil and the sun, everything seems to come together to create something really quite magical. And we begin to see the sprouts of green and the sprouts of nature changing and becoming, waking up from its sleepiness.
And more snow too.
And some more snow. We live in Utah, so we can expect the unexpected. But I don't know about you, but I'm already seeing the daffodils coming up. I'm already seeing some buds. I don't know, maybe the snow today has caused their direction to go in a different one. I don't know, but we'll see. So embrace change. Change is the one thing that we can all depend on. It's happening all the time. Each and every moment, we're brand new. We're born again in every moment. This moment isn't the same as the moment just a minute ago or the moment just a moment in the future. We're always living in this place of freshness and newness and nowness. And so becoming a really good I don't know the right word. It's gone.
Steward?
Maybe steward. Becoming a good steward of embracing this natural flow of change is a really great way of being. Because if we're resistant to change, then we're going to find that we're living in some mental turmoil, maybe some physical turmoil. When what we resist persists. So being flexible with the now moment, being easy with the changes of life is the best way to be. So my talk today is Namaste. And the meaning of Namaste is the divinity in me honors the divinity in you. Or the word namaskar is sometimes used. I bow to thee. And so namaste, living in namaste, is an incredible way of dealing with life on life's terms. When we get out of the thinking mind and truly embody this way of being present in each and every moment with an air of reverence, with an air of respect, with an air of gratitude, and simply being with reality as it shows up, even when our ego mind doesn't like it. When we can come into that place, move into that paradigm of all is well, even in the turmoil, then we're way more able and capable to deal with the changes that life brings. The changes in our relationships, the changes in our homes, the changes in our work life, the changes in our body, our health, as we age, our bodies change, our minds change, everything's changing all the time. And so this concept of namaste or namaskar is a way of being engaged with life on life's terms, because we are a part of life. We're not separate from life. We are a part of the natural order of things. And somehow, some way, we became confused about that, many of us, probably not any of us in this room. We think we're somehow not part of nature, and that the natural universe is out there, but we're stewards of all that. And while on one level, you might look at that as being somewhat true, we can be stewards of our life and of nature and the planet, but we're also a part of it. There's wholeness, an interconnectedness, that once we understand that, once we realize that and live from that place, then we're more relaxed and easy and able to respond to life in a loving, kind, helpful way, versus react to life on our ego's terms. We have sort of two dimensions to us, our ego mind and then our essential self that already knows this. There's a part of us that already knows this, that living in namaste or living in honor of everything being one and the same. And then there's a part of us, this mind, this beautiful mind of ours, that wants more control and wants to judge the way things are and is very resistant to change. Does anyone not experience that besides me? That there's part of you that's kind of relaxed and chill, and when you're in a meditation or you listen to beautiful music, you can feel that expansiveness of your being, that sense of all is unfolding naturally and easily, and I'm a part of this thing, I'm listening to this music, I'm flowing with life. And then there's that part of us that kind of goes, yeah, but, what about this, or what about that? And it sort of takes us out of our natural way of being. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. So namaste, namaskar. So I have a teacher, and I'm actually going to see him next month in Los Angeles. His name's Sadhguru, and he's a teacher that I've been following for several years. And he wrote an amazing book called Inner Engineering. And he's developed, he's one of the top 100 people in India that's making a big impact for the better, planting thousands of trees and creating sustainable villages with fresh water. And he also has 2 huge ashrams that he leads, one in Tennessee and then one in southern India. And so I'm going to go, and I've been training with him, doing this inner engineering course. And I'm going to go and see him next month to take a deeper dive into that and to actually be in the presence of a guru or someone that has already walked down that path to awakening and is living in a state of awakened presence is powerful. It's like going on an adventure through, I'm making this up, going to Nepal and going to an adventure to sacred sites, but you don't have a guide. You might go, but you may miss half the things because you don't know. So when you have a guide, when you go to Peru to go to see the sacred sites, you're going to be sure to go and visit all of those sacred sites because this guide has already experienced that. So when we're around someone that has awakened to a degree of awareness, to a degree of being awakened to the divine, to reality, to life with a capital L, then being in that individual's presence uplifts because we're all connected. We're all connected energetically. And so we're uplifted by other people's presence. And we experience that in listening to the music today. We all have a sense of being elevated to a different dimension of our being, above worry and stress and our everyday concerns. So, Sadhguru says this about namaste, or namaskar. The physical world is a product of polarities, masculine and feminine, yin and yang, right brain and left brain, up and down, light and dark, etc. The longing to find union of polarities is finding expression through our ambition, our conquests, our relationships, and our activities. You can balance the polarities through yoga. Yoga means union. And I must step out of the quote here for a moment. When I say yoga, I don't mean yoga like we know here in the West. I don't mean an exercise program where you're getting physically fit. Although that might be a part of yoga, doing certain movements that tune your body into this greater, being a greater vessel or vehicle to catch the divine vision or catch a deeper dimension of your own spiritual essence, your divinity. But when I say yoga, I mean many practices, through mindfulness, through meditation, through spiritual study, through the very work you do in your life. If you're really engaged with what you're doing, you're yoking, you're connecting to the divine through what you do, and you're becoming enlightened. It's just living life from a slightly different perspective. That's what I'm talking about when I say yoga. Being acutely aware of your body, your mind, your emotions, your energies. You can balance the polarities through yoga. The simplest form of yoga is to put your hands together in namaste. So let's try that. You can put them together in front of your body, over your heart, over your forehead. You just feel it. You just feel as you do that, you're bringing the polarities of your body, your energies together. You're sort of balancing your ego, your busy mind, and your essential self. And you can drop your hands. Namaskar brings harmony between the polarities within. As you put your hands together in Namaskar and look upon someone or something with loving attention, in 3 to 5 minutes you will begin to harmonize. Namaskar yourself into peace. Namaskar yourself into love. Namaskar yourself into union. Let us put our hands together and unite the world. May you unfold your being with folded hands. A simple but powerful way to experience peace, love, and overall connectedness with everything else. So many of us think of Namaste as being this sort of new agey, came over from India, a little salutation that essentially says, I'm spiritual and I'm saying hello in a different way. And yes, it is that. But it is so much more to the science of this very simple, very lovely, very profound movement. Imagine if you could spend 3 to 5 minutes connecting with the people in your life. Not just sitting there at the dinner table, munching away and making small talk, which is nice sometimes, but truly being there at the dinner table, having a namaste moment with the food, with whomever's sitting at the table. You're actually there with the idea that you are going to connect with another God being, another spiritual being, another expression of life that has shown up in your world to grace and bless you. And if you lived with that much reverence, you might actually even get to know those people that you live with. You might actually get to have greater benefits from the food that you're eating. Because energy flows where your attention goes. So maybe you find this week opportunities to connect at a deeper level. Now, it might be a little weird if you don't set this up ahead of time, if you go to work and you start staring at your coworkers. So I'm not suggesting that you start to scare people or freak them out with your intensity.
Yeah.
But try it with someone that you're beloved. Maybe you have an animal companion. Maybe you have a spouse or a child. Maybe you could do a little experiment and just see what happens when you're that present, that engaged with the thought and the idea that this individual, this being, is here in front of me. They could be anywhere in the world, and they chose to be here now with me. I don't want to miss a thing. I want to connect with that person, and I want to engage at the deepest level I can. I don't want to rush this. I don't want to move through this. I want to see what the universe has for me, what lesson. What am I going to learn about myself by being that engaged with the divine being that's shown up to help me, to mirror back for me the beauty and the magnificence that life is. But here in the West, we're not really encouraged to do that. It's awkward. We're not taught that our fellow travelers, our family members, our workmates, our schoolmates are divine beings. We're not taught at 1, 2, and 3 years old that you say namaste, the divinity in me bows and honors the divinity in you. We're not taught that. So this is something that we can develop as we start to become more aware of our oneness, more aware of the interrelatedness of life. We're so hungry to find that next best thing. We take classes and workshops and travel to Long Beach to see gurus. We do all kinds of things to have a deeper spiritual experience. But it's really right here. This is it. This is the moment that you've been dying to live. Lifetimes upon lifetimes. You've been doing that to get here. Now. Today. So be here now. Be here now. In this fresh and wonderful, vibrant moment that's always changing. Don't you love it? It's not Groundhog Day. It's like always changing. We get this gift of life over and over and over again. And we get to recreate ourselves. If we don't like ourselves, if we don't like the way that our mind thinks, if we didn't do our best yesterday, guess what? It's a brand new baby day. We get to join in and recreate ourselves and use our incredible mind, our brain, to think thoughts that align more with what we want and stop judging and criticizing the way life shows up. When did that become a good idea? I found this beautiful little thing from Reverend Michael Beckwith. It says, respect the self of others. Offer your respect and love to others, not by seeking to manipulate or change them according to your design. When you realize that they're responding to their own inner guidance, you will honor the path that they have chosen and the steps they take in life. Each soul has a unique romance with its source. Our contribution as a friend or a family member is to support them in it. So we're here to support each other, not to judge each other. That's just a bad habit. We're here to see the magnificence within each other. And even when we do see things that annoy us, how about trying not pointing that out? How about holding back from giving your opinion and simply being in Namaste, which says, I see you, I recognize you. You are a beautiful child of the divine. You don't need to change a thing. I see you, I love you, and I care for you. Namaste. So that energy, because you were probably thinking, why is she just being quiet? Why isn't she saying something? That energy of sort of excited anticipation of like, what's next? That's part of Namaste too. There's a curiosity to Namaste. That you haven't figured it all out. You don't know everything. There's a sense of there's something fresh, new, and alive about to happen, and I am on high alert for that. Actually, I'm expecting it. And so in that way, we get elevated to a whole different way of being that attracts a whole different experience. So my blessing, my wish, my desire for you is that you truly connect this week and walk this earth path with a sense of reverence, with a sense of curiosity, with a sense of respect for each and every person on your path and each and every situation you find yourself in. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, it always feels kind of, let's clap this into reality. Maybe that's where clapping came from, the Namaste. People are like, oh, Namaste, this is so great. This is so great. Have to again. Just made that. Okay, so we have, this is our time of offering. And we are a center that is supported by our community. And every Sunday we pass our baskets around and give you an opportunity to practice this law of circulation that puts you into a greater sense of the divine flow of life. And so please join me in saying the offering of the blessing. So take your offering in your hand and know that yes, your offering may be going to the center today, going to the Satya Center so that we can continue to do Sundays and programs and all the great things we do, but it's also you are communicating with the universe. You are saying, I'm all in, and I'm circulating my flow because I know where I give, I receive. So, joyfully I give with gratitude, for I know as I give, I am given. I allow the abundant nature of the universe to flow through me now. I am so blessed, and so it is. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. It's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. We are the world. We are the children. Let's everyone stand. Children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. It's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better
am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
I am so blessed and I am so grateful. Let's go into prayer now as I hold these offerings. I know that your gifts, your monies, these represent your time, your talent, your energy, and your support of this community and these teachings, these powerful teachings that say you can change your thinking and change your life. And when you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change. And so I give thanks to each one of you for helping to support this vision, this teaching, and this community. I know that each of us today are blessed and lifted up in consciousness, lifted up in love, as our hearts are open, as we embrace the change, as we practice namaste, honoring life, honoring each other. I know that all life is blessed and lifted up through our awareness and through this prayer. I give great thanks, and let us say together,
And so it is.
Something wonderful is happening today.
Something wonderful is happening today.
It's this thing called
Life.
life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my heart.
Life is in my heart.
And life is in all of my affairs.
Life